what's the work? Like I guess let's talk about that then. Like what do you think is like the meat of doing it right? So for someone who like doesn't understand, because I think if I bought a home tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy the right home. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, I think that, so. Then, like, when you look to invest into a home, right? What do you look for in a property? You know what I mean? Is there something you look for?
Yes, I look for value adds.
Okay, so you look at the value adds, and then like you physically go and look at the home, and you see what needs to be done.
so what the hell is a value add?
What's a value add? Like it's got steps, or if it comes with
like when I'm home, like when I'm in a home, I'm trying to rehab it. I get excited when I see a broken cupboard or the kitchen needs to be redone or just drywall. Like those are stuff that adds value to the bank, not adding flowers outside my house and stuff like that. Yeah.
So the shittier it looks,
the more
potential.
Correct.
It's shittier but easy to rehab. That's like a value
because
add.
to me,
besides the structural
Or does it
stuff.
matter?
Besides structural stuff, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Little shit.
But if it's like if you got a ugly ass or a messed up kitchen, isn't that more money you're gonna have to put into it?
Well, depends what you're buying the house for.
Okay.
Maybe you're buying that house 150, 200,000 below market value in accordance to all the houses in the area.
Right.
You buy the crappiest home in the best neighborhood. That's a rule of thumb buying real estate.
There you go.
And then you're not planning to up it up. You're just waiting for it.
No.
You're not planning to put a new facelift on it.
You put a facelift on it.
No, he said you buy the shittiest home in a good neighborhood, and then you make it middle of the pack, and that process will make you 100 G's.
Yeah, make a lot of money.
And they say too, right? The two things in the home, if you fix them, that will increase the value the most. All right, the kitchen and the bathroom. So if there's a crappy kitchen, and it's not like structural, so it's not like it has like uneven floors, like stuff that's going to cost a lot of money, right? It's like you can just fix it up, add some fixtures, and you can.
Yeah, because anybody is looking for an apartment to rent or something, the first thing they look at is the kitchen and the bathroom.
Right.
So those are the most important value adds in the property.
Because I need to be comfortable when I shit and when I eat.
Exactly.
Exactly. Fuck out of here, yo.
So simple.
Like, I ain't trying to shit and be sideways.
Fucking stirring. I gotta eat shit before I fuck.
Exactly. I can fuck on the floor. Like, I can't shit or eat on the floor.
But like anything, it takes a lot of due diligence. The experience will not come right away, and the only way I believe you really learn is by diving in, getting involved. 150%.
So how many homes you in now? If you keep count.
How many homes?
No, that's not a lot.
How many homes
five.
I need to get them a count?
Okay.
Five properties.
Okay. So you've done 5 already.
Yes.
You got one in the chamber, or you still looking for the right one?
Well, right now I'm not looking for a home because how the market just. Well, I was kind of looking for a home, but I'm not looking for an income producing property right now just because how the market is.
Right.
Everything's overinflated.
So it's interesting. I thought that
I agree.
Like property values were down now. No.
Nah, they up.
Everything is up.
Oh no, maybe it's the interest rates that are down, right?
Rates are actually stabilizing. They were going back up. They just started to stabilize.
Okay.
Yo, I want to
I don't know shit, so don't listen to
I
me.
want to question about that interest rate because I thought an interest rate, like, to my understanding, is like if the interest rate is part of the deal. So how can the interest rate go up if it's like, nah, man, we made that deal at 4%, and now this year it goes up? Like, how? I don't understand how the mechanics of how that works.
It depends on the type of mortgage you took out, like you were
That's the
saying earlier.
adjustable one.
Yeah,
If it's
it's a part
adjustable,
of it.
then you agree to let them adjust it, right?
So
People
Adjust it up or down? Like,
what's the difference
By
between
market.
the two and like define them? Like so
So
one's
you have like a arm, right, which is generally like a subprime product, right? It's basically you don't come with a lot of cash to put down, and you have messed up credit, right? Mm-hmm. So essentially we had a policy, right, from like the 80s to basically 2000 where we wanted to get everyone at homes, right? So even if you had messed up credit, you didn't have a lot of money, we were putting people in homes, especially, the early 2000s with like Countrywide and all these other companies sprouted up. But the thing is, you clearly, if you don't have a lot of cash to put down or no cash and you don't have good credit, you're not going to get a great interest rate. So people were taking the crappiest of interest rates just to get in the home. And honestly, a lot of these documents, like a note or a mortgage, it'll say it on its face. It'll have a little table, and it'll show you year 1 to 3 interest rate 2%, year 3 to 12 interest rate 4.5%, year 12 to year 30 interest rate 6%. And people don't realize how much your mortgage goes up based upon those interest rates.
Bad math.
Yeah, but then also reverse.
So they just not paying attention.
They ain't even looking.
But not just
not paying attention.
but not just that. It was reverse redlining too. And for anyone who doesn't know what reverse redlining is basically like, let's say back in the day, like certain neighborhoods had covenants, right? They're saying, okay, Jews can't live here, blacks can't live here, Latinos can't live here, Asians can't live here. Only certain types of people can live here, right? So they wouldn't sell to people of color in those areas or other, Jews. And
Hey man, listen.
well, I mean,
They still kind of got that though, right? Certain
no,
neighborhoods.
but the thing is, it's federal litigation to like get that stuff overturned, right?
Okay.
And depending where you are in the country, right? But then reverse redlining is basically saying, okay, you see this neighborhood, you see Hollis, you see St. Albans, okay, a lot of black people live there, and black people want to buy this. So you know what we're going to do? Even if they have good credit, and even if they put money down, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give them a bad product, right? Just because of this neighborhood. I mean, I obviously I can't speak in detail, but I have white clients who live in some of these neighborhoods who got bad products because they're like, okay, we know most of these type of people live here, so we're going to give you this product, right? And so obviously some of it's on the homeowner because you actually have to read, right? But then you have companies who are getting these people, and honestly, I have some clients who don't speak English, right? And then I look at their I look at their paperwork, and I mean, obviously, everyone wants to have a piece of the American dream. But in a lot of ways, that's something, you really can't help. It's like, you're not going to say, okay, I'm going to go take English classes for 5 years and come back and buy a house. It's like people want to buy the house, right?
Where's their attorney? Like, you should have an attorney when you buying any type of
But it's
property.
not required,
But
right?
see, sometimes the mortgage brokers who want to get the deal done, they will provide the attorney for them.
Oh.
They'll get these types of loans, and like I was saying, I have some clients who don't even speak English, right? And they'll get these loans. And it's even like Spanish-speaking attorneys who would take advantage. Like I had this one lady who was a client before. She got a reverse mortgage. Wasn't a great product for her. And her nephew comes up to me, and he's just like, like people came to her house. They started speaking Spanish. She trusted them, right? She was like, okay, these people aren't going to, lead me astray. And then next thing I was in bankruptcy court with this lady, trying to save her home. So it's like
it be your own kind.
Be your own people.
Yeah. You think they're gonna send some nice guy with blonde hair, blue eyes from South Carolina to your house? No, it's like they send people who they think they stereotype that you can relate to, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, there's just a lot of people. They want to make $1, irregardless of
Who gets hurt?
who they hurt. Yeah.
Sean, have you encountered that energy out doing what you're doing, or is it more like get the fuck out of here? Or it's very easy to spot from your perspective.
Like in terms of the
Like people try to basically give you a bad deal because they know you don't know better.
I kind of read.
See, so that's what I'm saying. Like it all boils down to he does
it really
the work.
boils down to reading, man.
God,
And being careful where you place your pen and your,
and your trust.
yeah.
Right.
So
Fuck, man. So I guess
Do your homework.
like what
you gotta read.
you gotta read. I'm trying to
Gotta do your
help
homework.
someone who wouldn't think to read. Like I guess because so you just knew from jump there basically. Like you kind of understood how to do it right from jump, and
It's like you ain't get burned.
You
right?
didn't need to learn a bad lesson to.
You ain't
to
get
know
the clap,
that.
bro.
It's
Quick.
because of my job I had.
Okay.
I was the finance manager at a car dealer, so I was that last guy that you sit down with, that go over the loan with you, and you sign the paperwork. And I would say about 10 out of 10 of my customers never read. They probably just listen to whatever I state what they're signing.
So
Very rarely, people. Very rarely.
So what's the top 5 things you're looking to read on like a property? Like what I guess what are
On
those?
What things you should know? Right?
Or in terms of like the paperwork or the actual property itself. Like,
Well, I guess in terms of that chunk of the process, buying the house, what are the things you look for to know that you're signing a good deal, both in the contract and what you're seeing in the property?
The rate, the term. I preferably believe you should go with, especially rates are low today. Go with fixed mortgages. You know, don't think you really need to take an adjustable. Yeah, definitely getting your own title company. You know, definitely don't take the title company the agent is giving you, because everybody's in cahoots to make money together. What else?
Now looking at the physical part of the home, what are some of those things that are like you?
Yeah, like, how do you know
that's good? The red flag, green flag. You know what I'm saying? Like we hearing that term a lot when it comes to relationships, but like yo lady, shorty, what's a red flag? What's a red flag? If his name starts with a J, it's a red flag. So like, I want to know what's a red flag for like buying a house, like
New York City.
if it's in New York City, red flag.
Jeez, which red flag have I seen in buying a home?
Or seen other people buying a home because you do your work, so you less likely
Or
to make
even
a
like,
mistake.
what's a good flag? It doesn't have to
Okay,
be red.
we can go,
It
yeah,
could be
green
any
flag.
things that make you realize like this is a good investment from like spotting it. You know what I mean?
Those value adds. It's hard for me to say because it really goes by my experience. Because I'm looking at the comparable properties in the neighborhood and looking at this price and going into the property and looking at what needs to be done. And that gives me an idea if it's really a good home or not. The red flags are like trying to find out. I can't say it's a flag. Well, trying to find out why the person is trying to sell the home.
Okay.
You know, that gives you an idea.
Are there certain problems with a property that are too expensive to invest in, like plumbing or like
Structural issues. I mean, plumbing and electrical is kind of like the key things you should look for. I wouldn't say they're too hard to do unless you have the right people on your team to do it. Well, yeah.
So like, 2 questions, I guess. So one, do you have a team that does your work? That's somebody you always go to?
Yes, right now I have a few guys in Maryland that I deal with, you know,
Okay.
that if any issues pop up, they go and check it out. Or when I was doing the rehabbing.
So that's the best question. So you, in this BRRRR process, the best way to get the maximum value is to do the rehab yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's very
the-
important.
That could have went over our heads.
Because you're going to because part of the rehabbing, you're submitting to the bank that, hey, you know what, you need, I don't know, $15,000 for this kitchen, and then maybe you get it done for maybe 7 or 8. But if you go to the contractors, they're gonna charge you all the money in the world to get everything done. So I don't deal with contractors.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. So yes. So I think we got off track. So that's
Yeah.
BRRRR. We're back at the BRRRR. So that's that's, and then once you made it better, or while you're making it better, you rent it, right?
Well, after it's complete.
Once it's complete.
Correct.
live in a house, can't go in the kitchen, they're still fixing it.
Right. And so